What up, my fellow degenerate apes? So the big question is, what is Bitcoin price levels going to be in the next few months? But before we go over this topic, let's highlight some of the major global events and understand how this may affect Bitcoin's behavior and predetermine when the next bull run may happen, or what is Bitcoin most likely going to do in the next few months. Now, just to be clear, we can never predict the future, but what we can do is react to it and pretty much establish some reasonable levels of support that can help us reduce our losses. Because let's be real, that's what trading is all about. It's about minimizing your losses. There's a reason why 90% of investors or 95% of investors actually lose money. So we got to minimize our losses when things get ugly and enter at levels that actually work on our favor. Given the fact that historically Bitcoin has performed well in Q4 most of the time, in order for us to answer the question of where do we go from here, we have to go over some internal and external forces that impact global markets. Now, despite some negative ones out there, like low interest over time in Google searches, for example, and Israel's latest attack on Iran, there are definitely some positive ones as well. First up, we have elections coming up, and history tells us that shortly after a US president is elected, Bitcoin goes on a rally, no matter who wins. Now, there are some democratic policies that may slightly affect markets negatively, and that's the fact that they want to tax unrealized gains for people that actually make over $400,000 a year. In the long run, I think we can still recover over time. The second factor is the Fed cutting rates down by 50 basis points. Now, we know that this did not take a huge impact immediately after it happened, but it will definitely take an impact midterm once global liquidity rises and borrowing becomes cheaper, which actually leads to my third factor. See, global liquidity is about to hit the $100 trillion milestone. And here's the best part, 83% of the time, Bitcoin actually moves in the same direction as global liquidity. And that's 15 points higher than gold, as you can see in this graph. And China being the #2 contributor to GDP helps us transition to our next topic, China's economic stimulus. And the reason why we talk about China is because the balance sheet of China's central bank has been positively correlated to Bitcoin's price over the past 8 years. So by cutting down interest rates, spending in infrastructure, cutting taxes, and providing incentives to strategic sectors like electric vehicles and renewable energy, China, all it's doing is helping bolster its economy. And this actually leads to a surge in Asian stock market, which indirectly benefits the crypto market as well. And lastly, we have FTX Distributions, which are beginning to take place pretty soon. Now, to give you a bit of background, FTX was a major crypto exchange that went bankrupt back in November 2022, I believe. Now, this was due to a liquidity crisis and accusations of mismanagement, fraud, the whole nine. Now, although the founder was put in prison, $11 billion of customer assets vanished. And now it's when investors are beginning to take that money, to actually receive that money back in cash. Not only that, but 98% of them are actually receiving 19% more of their initial investment. Now, let's say that 10% of this money actually goes back into the market. This will definitely stimulate the price of Bitcoin. So when taking all of this into consideration, the chances of Bitcoin hitting $80,000 by the end of the year and $20,000 by Q3 of next year are actually in our favor. But it's just a matter of time. Now, what we just went through are pure fundamental analysis. I am going to make another video where we talk more about technical analysis, which is just pretty much reading the graphs and letting you know where do we think Bitcoin may actually move. And I am confident that we're going to go upwards, but we just don't know. Nobody knows actually. Hey, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. Let me know. Let me know what price you think Bitcoin is going to be at the end of the year. Let me know what you think about the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for swinging by. And as always, remember to trade safe. Goodbye.